All right, folks, real fast. Brian Kolberger's alibi. Do I think it's a strong alibi? Heck no. If that's his alibi, it's no wonder he's in jail. They would have. If he was innocent, folks, and had an alibi and all this, they would have released him, right? They would have released him before they have to pay him tons of money, right? If he was innocent and they knew it, he had an alibi, and they checked it out and it was good, they would have released him. But he ain't got no good alibi, and that's why he remains in jail. And if that's an alibi, what he's saying, I don't know what to. Here's the thing: he knows the system, he knows police, he knows a lot of people, he knows how the system works. So he puts out an alibi where it's going to be hard for them to prove that it's not an alibi, right? But it ain't an alibi. And I don't believe it's any good at all. Hold on, man. Let me get my coffee. So here, and some of these YouTubers are saying this was the perfect time for Brian to come out and talk before it got too far. And believe me, folks, Brian had numerous chances to talk. If he was completely innocent of this crime and had nothing to do with it, didn't know anything about it, he would have spilled his beans, right? Unless he's that crazy to try and take on the justice system and get millions and millions of dollars out of them for a scam. Well, it could be. If he knows the system that good, he might be able to beat it. Therefore, he'd sue and get a lot of money. His alibi, I'm not buying it. It ain't him turning off the phone. Why did he? Probably because he thought it wouldn't leave a signal, any data or anything showing, he knows the system. But even though when your phone is shut off, they can still get data from the phone. And it ain't the phone mainly, it's the servers that's within the internet system, that's within everything. So all that information is in all the servers, right? They still have that data. It just takes time to get it, to fish through it and find it. So his alibi, is it any good? Is it strong? No. It's strong where it might take him a while to figure it out. But is it strong that proves that he was not there at the crime scene? Nope, it don't. So, and if it did, he would already been released, right? So something fishy's going on. I'm not buying the alibi. It ain't a strong alibi at all. And people would have came forward and said, hey, he was with me, right? The police would have went through it all. Probably the FBI would have went through it all. And people think, well, this is what's good about the FBI and CIA. See, people can, it's corrupt, it's corrupt. No, folks, they're there to watch the police. And believe me, the FBI is watching the police, and so is the government. If it's that corrupt, I would imagine our top agencies are watching these police and the states that these police are in. If it's that corrupt, like Trump and everyone's saying, well, I imagine Central Intelligence, Homeland, they're also watching the police, right? They're the ones that lock police up. And other police, right? Usually they'll get another police officer to try and lock up a cop. But if it gets too crazy, then the FBI comes in and they take these cops down. And you're going to see a lot of this now, folks. You're going to see a lot of police officers that thought they were so good, that people thought they were so good, being picked up for stuff. that they did behind people's backs, closed doors, whether it be abusive force with their badge or their authority or whatever it may be. I mean, yeah, I can understand now how Trump is on there screaming out it's corrupt. But then again, you got to look at Trump's situation, right? A lot of these people want to go for presidency. And the reason they do is because once you become president, you're immune to any backlash or any serious time or prison or anything like that, right? That's why a lot of these people want to run, because they're guilty before they even step foot into our beloved White House. But is it that bad? Is war? Are we on the brink of war in America against our own system? Yes. I believe it's real close. And I believe his alibi ain't crap. And if his alibi was any good, he would have been out of jail a long time ago. And if he deliberately kept his mouth shut because he wants to try and beat the case or get millions of dollars, it's still a scam to me. And it proves everything I've been saying, that the system is broke. Now you got people saying they committed crimes just so they can get arrested and then go through the system and get, and then proved that they were innocent and get millions of dollars and everything. I don't know. I wish it worked that way, because it didn't work that way for me. And I've been going through it my whole life. So I don't know how these people do it. I don't know what system's in place. But it's definitely broke down. His alibi ain't crap, because he'd be out of jail right now. The police would have came up and said, he checked out. His alibi's good. But you have to remember, police will lie through their teeth. They will lie through their teeth. Right? People are like, yeah, no, there's proof. And if you want to pull up the documentation, all the footage, police do lie. Police themselves are shady. Nobody is immune to evil except for thy God Almighty and Jesus Christ and the saints and everything. But, it's everywhere, folks. So when you got presidents, you got Congress, you got Senate people saying the system is broke down, it's over with, burn it to the ground, start over. Well, maybe they should be listening to them. It's a system that's been running from the 1800s. How many people have died? Millions, billions. How many people have been falsely imprisoned? Oh, tons, right? Millions. How many people are? It just goes on and on. The system is not. You can look outside your door and see homeless people all over, and shortages of food and bad health care and everything. Is the system broke? Yes. And if they continue to use this system, millions will die. Millions will die. It's a bad system. It's finally took its toll, broke. I mean, some of the professionals been talking about the justice system for many, many, many years, saying it's failing, it's breaking down, it's turned more corrupt than any proof of innocent people being imprisoned, and the system is not perfect. Nothing is perfect except for God. God is perfect. The system, no. Right? The system is not perfect, folks. So what do? You shut it down and start rebuilding it with a system that's better, with justice, right? With equal justice for the citizens and whoever. So his alibi is not a good alibi to me, because there would have been numerous people that came forward and said he was with us, he was here, he was there, and had proof of it, photos, whatever it may be. Because we live in a world today where you can say whatever you want, but unless you show it to me on video, And that's where we're going to, folks. If you ain't got proof, it's hearsay. Anybody can say, hey, that guy did something to me and get arrested, right? That's the system. It's broke. You're going to need stone cold proof, footage, video, or stone cold DNA or whatever that puts that person there. Other than that, it's hearsay. You can't believe anything. Morning there, Tahoe. So is his alibi good? No. Was he hacking computers? Yes. Was he spying on people? Yes. Right? Yes to all. Right? He was a sicko. He knew the system. He knew police. He knew government. He knew he was training to be one of them. So he knew the system. He knew how to. He knew everything. But what he didn't know was, even though he shut his phone off, he thought, well, right? I'm not implicated because they can't pinpoint me around the house. They don't need to, right? They got enough evidence of you driving around, and that's like a scoping out your whole thing. It's almost like the military. When you send out recon to check out the area before you go into it, right? So, it ain't adding up. It's turned into a political war. It's turned into this holy war. It's turned into a lot. His alibi is not strong. And if it was strong, it would be all over the internet. Do you folks understand? And being that he knew police and he knew judges and he knew this system and how to clean crimes up and what to do and what not to do, this idiot might have tried to go ahead and create this illusion. Why? For money. Because that's what it's all about in America right now, is money. And if you can steal or rape or pillage this country and get away with it, these people will. So his alibi is shot. It don't prove crap. Show me a photo of him where he said he was, with people around him, whatever it may be, or whatever he was doing, or if he was at work, if he was the food delivery guy, whatever. Show us proof, right? Show us proof. But other than that, he's got squat, a bunch of hearsay, and that's why he is in prison, folks, and he will remain in prison, and it'll probably go to court, and that's when they will show everything and all the cards. And folks, this might be bigger than just one person. You understand? This might be a cell of nutjob sickos that he was communicating with through the internet. So there is a good chance. And if you people take your eye off the ball, it'll be too late. These people will get away. Right? People are like, nah, it's conspiracy. That's crazy. It can't be a giant ring. He couldn't have been. Well, all the stuff he wanted to know and was asking on the internet for people to contact him that were stone cold killers that killed before wanted to know. Yeah, it makes sense to me. And it makes sense to other people that it could have. It's like Delphi case that we're going through in Indiana here. The people are screaming out the state is corrupt and all this crap, and the police don't know. They couldn't find their way out of a paper bag. They're always arresting people that are weak, poor, that have no money to fight. And that's what caused all this madness in Delphi, Indiana, which we want to question Brian Kolberger. Where was he on February 17th, 2017? Right? Or February 13th, I think it was, 14th. In 2017, where was he at that time? What could it have been? And where was, Richard Allen? Where's he from? Right? You watch some of these Delphi videos, they're saying, well, Richard Allen moved from Indiana to Idaho and then moved back. And then, so people, they don't understand. I don't want to understand. I'm so sick of it. It's drove everybody nuts. So his alibi ain't good. And I would be questioning him on where was he? Was he in Delphi? People think just because he's up in Pennsylvania, lived there, or Washington, or whatever, that the guy never went on vacation, drove. And most serial killers, they usually don't kill in their own area around them, right? They travel. They kill not close to them, so they think somebody else did it in another state, right? So we've been doing a lot of research on this, and it makes sense to us, but I'm dumb, folks. I got a disability. So that's always my downfall, because anything I say, people say, well, he's got a disability. You can't believe anything he says. And that's how these killers, and that's how these people got away with stealing billions from me and many of you folks. 263 trillion, right? This is how they do it. They say you're nuts. They stonewash you, steamroll you. They damage your name. They lock your innocent stuff, and then they make fake reports, fake police reports, fake warrants. Why? To damage your credibility and to have that on your record stained for the rest of your lives. Evil is amongst us in the United States of America. I am no longer looking to invade other countries. I don't have to. Got Satan right here that they've been harvesting for so long. We don't have to go to another country to fight a war, right? We got enough people in our United States to create a war. And that's what these people have done. Not me, not anybody investigating or speaking their mind. You got to have money. You got to have power over these people. And I just don't have that capabilities, right? Not on a disability check. So are they using witchery, sorcery, all kinds of crap in America? Yes. And I'm here to testify to it, Lord. But I can tell you this much. We ain't buying a story. We ain't buying a lot of these people's stories. And these people will, in the Delphi case, I never met that dude. I don't even want to mention their names. I've never met them dudes in my life. But being that they got caught, I knew that they were lying pieces of crap. They all came and said they knew me. I had no idea who any of them were. They came into my chat. When I was doing the Delphi case stuff. I didn't go into their chats. They came into mine. So this whole thing with these YouTubers helping each other, because folks, YouTubers are criminals too. Mafia, gangs, you name it. Okay, there's no different. Oh, we're on YouTube, so we're good guys. No, hey, listen, I'm with the rest of you guys. I've sinned before. I've been locked up and in jail before. Okay, but I ain't never deliberately went out of my way to corrupt a case or to do anything deliberately to make millions of dollars or scam people. Or I don't belong to no organizations, no gangs, no nothing. It's just me. So do I think that the whole system's bad? Sure. Do I think Brian's alibi is strong? No, not at all. Because if it was that strong, he'd be a free man right now. And you have to keep in mind that these police might have made a mistake. And now they found out that they made a mistake. And now they will probably, if they did, they would lose their jobs and they would cost that state and the court or the college millions and millions of dollars, because this happened on campus, right? That was a sorority hall or a campus house that was owned by supposedly, who knows. But does it make sense? Well, sure. Well, now if the police made a mistake, well, now they got to rig things to make it look like they did have evidence, right? So they don't get sued, so they don't lose their jobs, right? So it all makes sense to me as corrupt as sure is. I want to say good morning to Tahoe and hope the BMW is running good. Are they using witchery, sorcery, whatever, binding people, sending demons? Sure. It's evil. Like I said, folks, I will no longer concentrate on other countries. We have enough in America. We don't need to go fight wars in other countries and spend billions and trillions in another country when we got hell right here in America, folks. America is a third world country. We do have poverty all over, murders all in the streets. These people are saying it's the greatest country in the world. And I'm like, you folks live in a third world country. You ain't nothing. You got poor. You got murders going on every day. You got famine, disease. This brainwashing signal that they put into these people's brains is nuts. America is no better than a third world house. When everyone's got the same health care and we're saving people's lives and we're coming up with cures for diseases and everybody's prospering, then it's the greatest country in the world. Till then, it's a third world country, folks. You've just been lied to. That's all. I should say brainwashed, but by chemicals and radio signals. So Brian Kolberger's whole thing that he has an alibi is crap. Complete crap. And if it was a strong alibi, they would have already checked it out. And ladies and gentlemen, Brian Kolberger would be free. Before it got any further, before he spent time and innocent taxpayer money, they would have let him go. Why? Because this is what kind of country we live in, where these people will go to jail, all and innocent. Why? Because they know that they'll be found innocent later on, and they can sue and get millions and millions. Right? Does it make sense? Sure does. Do I think he's guilty? He must be, because he ain't free. And if he was free or innocent, he'd be free. So I ain't buying the alibi. It ain't a strong alibi anyway. Right? You're being charged with killing 4 people and possibly more. We're waiting for data to get back. It takes time to go through all these systems within the government. And you got a stupid alibi like that? Well, it's an alibi they can't prove. That's it. Well, you can't prove that I wasn't there, right? An alibi like that, you with charges going this far into that case, you come clean, right? If you sold that knife to somebody, then that's when you come clean. Hey, I sold it. Or, hey, somebody ripped it off and stole it from me, whatever. The police would check that out. But it ain't adding up, folks. Plus, they got identification and all kinds of crap that links them to these people and other people. Yeah, come on, man. They found identification. They found all kinds of identifications, and now they're saying they found something identificate that leads to one of the girls in the house or someone. Come on, man. That's just crazy. But here's the thing, there's more of them. And I hate to say it, I'm not going to lie to you like the government does or the police. I'm going to be right out with you. This might have been a massive killing ring. That's what I'm thinking, right? Very well possible he could have had connections with people and were communicating, and they were all, it could have been a terrorist cell. And that's what I'm taking to Congress and Senate is there's been, they could have killed all at the same time in different states. If it is a giant circuit, Satan himself or whatever, it could have been a mass killing across the country at that time. We have to see. We don't know. I mean, if you dive deep into these serial killers and crazies, right? Sometimes they have help. Look at Ice Pick. Look at Richard Zielinski, the Ice Pick killer, who met up with other hitmen for the mob and killers, and they would collaborate on killing people. Other hitmen talking with other hitmen, a circuit of hitmen within the system, communicating with each other. Right? And that might be something we're looking at with Brian Kolberger, where he was communicating with other people. So just to be safe, so it is on YouTube records and on channels records. Where was Brian Kolberger in 2017 on February 13th? Where was he? Does he have any family in Indiana? Any church connections? Anything connected? Friends connected to Indiana, right? So we're doing it now here because it's only right. His MO, right? The girls supposedly were all cut up in the Delphi case, 40 caliber round, right? It might just be coincidence that Brian Kolberger has a 40 caliber gun and a bunch of knives. And supposedly the girls and Ethan were all just like the Delphi case. Are these some sick pricks? Well, sure. So just to be safe, hey, I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. My apologies. But if I'm right, well, we got more, right? It's a circuit. It's a racket. It's an organization, a bunch of them, right? And a lot of things are going to be going down in America. I imagine they're going to be picking up all these people and Joe Biden and everything, and his son Hunter giving up people and everything, and giving up all these drug dealers and all these people and all this crap and prostitutes and all this stuff. I mean, it might have been a giant, massive political killing field. It's horrible, folks. If you want me to tell you the truth, it's horrible. And what do? You got to do exactly what these people are saying, pretty much. You got to burn it to the ground, right? Indiana might be corrupt, right? Might be corrupter than I know, right? It's been all over the news that the Indiana militia is going to help the police if they need it. That was the most stupidest thing to say, because now, if it is as corrupt as everyone's saying, they're circling Indiana. The other militias from the other states are going to take on Indiana and the police force in Indiana. That was the stupidest thing for these people to say, was on the news, on public news, that the Indiana militia will help the Indiana State Police. That was stupid. That gave them away. It's corrupt. Militia. These people live in the 1800s still. With militias and state wars, state against state. And that was so stupid to say, but they did. And I was like, that's just proven. It must be corrupt. Next thing you know, we'll have the KKK saying that they're going to support the police department if it's found out that the police department is corrupt in Indiana, which a lot of people are saying. I don't know. I've had some bad run-ins, right? But most of them are good. But it might be that situation where the bad is just too strong for the good. We know they're corrupt, but you'd have to take out your own guys. But sometimes that's what you got to do to get a hold of the corruption. So just be safe. That's all I can say. I'm not buying Kolberger's alibi. It's not a very strong alibi. And I ain't buying it. Like I said, if he was innocent of anything, he would have been out. But here's the thing, and this is what is a shocker to a lot of people, that they can't phantom in their brain. They might have Brian Kolberger. Do you understand, folks? He might be innocent of the Idaho 4 case, but he's guilty in other cases that the MO fit, and the DNA is, they got DNA, but it might not be from the Idaho 4. It might be from other victims, other crimes, killings. And that is too much for people to phantom. They can't phantom it. They're like, what? What? Well, why is he why is he in prison still? Well, because maybe they have things on him from other cases. They might say, all right, we're letting him go on the Idaho 4 case, but look at here, Mr. Kolberger. What's this DNA doing at this stabbing and robbery? And what are these IDs doing in your apartment that these people are missing or were attacked but survived? Right? Yeah. It's too much for people to phantom. So what do I think? I think it's all foobar, from what old Grandpappy said, or used to say. These people are a bunch of foobarbs. What does that mean? FX in German. When the American soldiers went to Germany, they had to learn how to talk German so they can tell these Germans surrender or whatever. All right, I got to get my coffee. Any questions? Press, Congress, Senate, police, anybody? Like I said, folks, in the works right now is the citizens police. And they will patrol the police, the city police, the town police. I know it's a shocker. Everybody can't fathom it. They're like, are you kidding? No, this is the only way to stop the madness that these people have created, right? Is the citizens military of the United States and the citizens police of the United States. And them police will only be there for the citizens. They will have the best of the best technology, best of the best armor, weaponry, all designed, all for the American citizen, right? All for the American citizen. And a lot of people are upset. You can't do that. We can do that because this is a country that is free. And we have the right to create and change, just like third world countries. And America is a third world country, folks. When you got famine, disease, and people in your streets that have no homes, and some of them are richer than you would believe, but yet they choose to live on the streets. If we're not dealing with demons and sorcery and witchery and pure just madness, I don't know what is. Health, a lot of people are saying mental health. But yeah, well, you can't fix mental health. unless you know what you're doing. First, you have to realize that you have a problem. And you have to drill that into your brain to know that you have a mental problem. So sometimes things ain't going to be what they appear to be. And you got to train yourself. You got to overcome. You got to improvise. And it's tough. A lot of people don't want nothing to do with you. A lot of people push you to the side. Why? Well, because you got a disability. You're not going to stand up and fight. You don't have the capabilities or the resources to defend yourself. So they steamroll you. So I'm not buying his alibi until they can come up with some stone cold proof that puts him on a camera before the murders, during the murders, and after the murders of the Idaho 4. That's the only way you're going to prove it to me. And you'll have to go over it with professionals to make sure that the photos or camera footage wasn't photo-opted or edited. And that's the problem with the world today, is the technology that the citizens got their hands on. You can make it look like Ronald McDonald slaughtered these people. Now, is there any questions from press or Congress or anybody or government or Pentagon? Any questions? Folks, don't you worry about the UFOs. We got more problems to worry about in this country than UFOs. No questions? All right. Well, then this press release or this theory of mine or whatever you want to call it is pretty much over with. And is it a strong alibi? Not really. And is there any proof of what he is saying? Not yet. It would have came out by now. But I got a feeling that these people are just holding back. Why? Money. Right at the last minute, they'll spring on all this stuff. Well, he was here, he was there, he was this, he was that. It's all become about money, folks. Corruption, evil. Money. Why go to work when you can just sue somebody, right? Right? You know how many times people came at me and tried to say I'm this, I'm that, and I got millions and billions of dollars. I'm like, no, I've always been poor. I learned to trade when I was young. And I fought for everything I got because I had a disability, but I didn't get any money from the government. Right? Just recently, I went on disability. I've had 5, 6, 8 doctors I had to go through, psychiatrists, everyone, regular doctors say, you got a problem. Yeah, I know that. I've been suffering my whole life. You don't have to tell me. Right? But that's the whole thing. Good morning, Ombeck. Hopefully you're doing good. It's just crazy. I'm not buying his alibi. No one else is. I mean, there are people buying it, but it's not a very strong alibi. And people don't realize the police will lie. Everyone will lie. Right? They will bear false witness and lie to you, even the police, even the government. Thus far, I cannot believe that this country is under God. If they will lie to the public, right? It should be, this is the evidence we got. This is it. No lying about it and telling people, we don't know what you're talking about, or no, we ain't investigating you, or whatever, They should come right out and tell people. You know, this is the evidence we got, and we believe he is guilty. And you know, all the lying, and that's why people don't trust the police, because they'll lie. It's just like when I was younger, they pull you over, right? If you got anything in this car, you better tell us no, and we'll let you go. Good chance we'll just pour the alcohol out, or we'll tear up the cannabis, and you'll be on your way. Did that ever happen? No. No, they made you pour out the alcohol. They made you stomp on the cannabis or tear it up. Then they'd say, oh, well, see, there's a problem. You were in possession of this stuff. So we got to take you in, right? But then you go ahead and you tell them, well, I thought you told me get rid of the alcohol and the cannabis or whatever. And you know, there's a good chance of just walking away or whatever. That never happens, folks. So they will lie to you. Thus, for they are breaking sins themselves, bearing false witness or lying to you, saying that if you get rid of your alcohol or your cannabis, there's a good chance you won't go to prison and you just walk away. That never happens, folks. Very rarely does it happen, but not too much, right? So nobody believes anything these people say. They created this mess. And I tell you what, this proves that the system is broke. Listen, the police show up here and there's people that bring out their lawn chairs and they sit right in front of the police and tell them to go home. Get out of here. Right? I seen it for myself right here at this small little apartment complex. They'll come right out and say, you people go home. You're corrupt. They just tell them to go home. The cops say, I'd love to go home, but I can't. I'm on my job right now. I was laughing. I laughed my butt off when he's like, I wish I could go home right now. But that's the system we live in. They created their own madness with authority, right? We authority overuse. And that is always a conflict. There will always be wars. They will always hate the police. They will always hate the authorities. Why? Because they think they have authority over everything. And whatever they say goes, and that is causing the conflict. And this will continue to go on for many, many years until they fix the system. Now, if I have no other questions, if nobody has any questions, just the same old stuff on back. Right? Just going through some cases and I hear that Upchurch is getting sued by Kylie Rodney's family. Yikes. I imagine there'll be more suing Ryan Upchurch too. Boy, did he get himself. This is what I'm talking about. These folks get a little bit of money. You know, you would be shocked if you knew how many rich people go out and create havoc amongst our country. Why? Because they got a lot of money. They'll buy their way out of it. They'll never see a day in jail. That's how we know the system's broke. It's all corrupt. And that's why you got mass chaos in the streets and wars and killings and everything going on. Heck, they're telling people to kill cops. If you're going to jail and you know you're wanted and you're going to jail, to make sure you kill a cop, because you will be treated like a king in prison, no matter what you've done. No matter what. They'll even let child rape and all this trafficking slide in prison. If you kill a cop, that's a known fact, folks. It's even on the internet. They're coming out and saying that, right? So it's authority against authority. They created this mess. We live in it. It's horrible. But us, American citizens, have to live within this madness. And that's sad. That's sad. Police do not have training to deal with people that have mental illnesses, right? Thus far, a lot of people in jail right now have mental illnesses, but the police didn't know that or couldn't figure. Now you got him locked up just because he had a mental breakdown, right? We got a lot of innocent people that never killed anybody or did anything bad. They just had a mental illness that have been locked up. The system's broke down. We've cost it. This system has cost the American taxpayer quadrillions of dollars. It was a great system in the beginning. I will give it that. It was a great system in the beginning, but that was 1776, folks. The 1700s. That's when this system was created. It worked for a long time, but now it's just broke. It just ain't working. It wasn't designed for the American citizen. The system was designed to keep the people that came to this country, conquered it, and it was designed to protect the rich, not us weak and poor and disabled or disability people or any foreigners or anything like that. It was strictly put in place to design a system, but mainly that works for the people that created the system. So I'm pretty much done with this. There's no questions at this press release here. And good luck trying to say that's an alibi that Brian's got. And if he did have a true alibi, there'd be people all over the internet. It'd be all over the news that he was here. Here's a photo of him here. Here he is right here with this person, that person. There ain't none of that. So I don't know. These are just my theories and my thoughts, and that's my right as an American citizen. And even with somebody with a disability, that's my right to voice my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to agree with it. But these people, just because they don't agree with you, well, they go out and kill people, or they wreck your life or your family's life. And that's what I'm talking about. War is infinite. There's no way around it. Biden gave up all these people, these drug dealers and everything. Even in Indiana, folks, it was a giant ring, right? All these people, corrupter than you would know. Founders of the country. Now we are finding that we're just corrupter than shit. So you folks have a great day. God bless everyone. Be safe. And have a great day. I think I'm done. It looks like we got some clouds coming in, but hopefully we don't get any more rain. God bless everyone. Have a great day. I want to thank Ombek Pecky Peck for being here, Tahoe for being here, and whoever else has been watching. Thanks. That's my opinion, though. Is he's got a weak alibi, if any alibi at all. Yeah. Now you folks have a great Saturday. Don't let this world get the best of you. Remain happy, calm, and God bless America. What's left of it, if there's anything left. I don't know. You folks have a great day.